Hello, folks, and welcome to your first Rangers review opposition lowdown. We face Dynamo Kyiv, the first leg this coming Tuesday. Rangers heading over to Poland to take on the Ukrainian side before the return at Hampden the following week. And to give us a bit of insight into Rangers' opponents, I'm delighted to say we're joined by the Ukrainian football expert Adam Pate to give us a little bit of insight into what we can expect. First of all, Adam, thank you very much for coming on. How's it going?
It's going well, mate. Going well. It's a shame about these storms. I don't know if you've got them up there, but it's keeping us housebound today. But yeah, nice way to recover from what was a great performance yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely was. Of course, 9-2 on aggregate, which is quite something against Partizan Belgrade, winning 3-0 over in Serbia after a 6-2 win in the first leg in Poland. Adam, how impressive were they?
Shockingly impressive, to be perfectly honest. You know, for Dynamo, they've had all of Ukraine, as you know, has had incredibly hard number of years for all of us connected with the country. But Dynamo have been through a real period of transition over the last 3-4 years. I'm sure your listeners will be well aware of how poorly they performed in Europe last year, not even making the group stages, and over the previous few years where they've really underperformed given the club's legacy, its history, and it has an immense history. But obviously, with the new manager coming in last year, I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name, and I suggest you don't either. Just call him the Gaffer, because it's a tough one, and any Ukrainian that's listening will be ashamed of my attempt as well. But yeah, he's turned the club around after the Lucescu era, and you know, by last Christmas, the club was at a real low ebb. Lucescu had started off last season, and as we said, they bowed out of Europe quite embarrassingly, and there was a real negativity around the club. And little by little, it's been brought back. The youths have been given a chance. Brashko has come to the fore recently. Vanat's come through over the last 18 months for them as well. There's some good quality youngsters, and by the end of the season, they were back pushing for the title. They fell at the final hurdle. Shakhtar came home and took the league as was expected, but Dynamo gave them a much better race than they had done in the previous, what was expected in the first half of the season. Now, going into this game, these two legs, we have to put the one, the 9-2, it's a wow, absolute wow. But if there's one country, apart from those who are banned from European football, that Ukrainians want to destroy, will be those clubs from Serbia. Yeah. And given all of the I need to choose the right word here, but the real, the disgraceful promotion of their relationship with the invading nation over the past few months has really riled and created a real antagonistic feel towards the match. And it was a match where the team were fired up beyond all belief, even though they went behind in the first leg. Can't escape that point. But then they came back and absolutely destroyed them. And they to go there last night as well and to win so comfortably, really, if you look across social media commentators, everyone said it was the most enjoyable Dynamo Kyiv performance that people have seen for many years. Now, the season's hasn't started here. Same as I don't think it's started up in Scotland yet. Dynamo's game is cancelled this weekend. It was initially cancelled because of the teams being in the Olympics, the under 23 side being in the Olympics. But I'm just going to check now to see if it hasn't been rescheduled for this weekend. But yeah, at time of recording here with you, their game this weekend against Alexandria has been postponed till afterwards. So they won't have had any league matches, but they will be going in to this leg fresh. It's quite a common thing for the teams when they're having to travel out of Ukraine for their European matches, that the match day before is, if they're playing on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, the match day before tends to be postponed. If they're playing on the Thursday in the Europa League or Conference League, the match day after, so they've got time to get back into the country and recover. Now, looking ahead again for match day 2, yeah, again, the game at the moment is postponed, so they won't have any distractions apart from this.
Interesting.
Match going down. It's going to be a good game.
I think it's going to be a tough one for Rangers, but by all accounts, who are the danger men, Adam? Who are the players that can inflict a bit of damage on Rangers?
I mean, the guy most of you obviously will know, Yarmolenko. He scored last night. Quite an easy goal. He is coming to the end of his career now, but he's got the all-time scoring record in the Ukrainian league in his target, and it could be reachable this season if he has a good season. So he's fired up and he's determined to do his best to drive the club back to its, I mean, it would be unjust to say former glories, but back to where it should be, you know, in the top 2. Elsewhere, as I mentioned, Vanat Brashko in the central spine there, real, you know, they are 2 of the players who are in the discussions to be the next to go to the, you know, one of the top 5 leagues. Clubs that have been sniffing around Brashko for a good 12 months now. And it's just one of those where valuation against the willing price clubs want to pay for him are quite far apart at the moment. But if he continues to prove himself like he did in the Euros, you know, he's only just come through from the under-21 squad in the national team and proves himself. He's proven himself there. Boyelski, you can always count on him to put in a performance as well, in the number 10 spot where he tends to play. He's always one that can pull it out of the bag as well. Defensively has been a weak point over the last few years. There seems to be a little bit of solidity, but again, the 2 goals conceded in the first match do raise those question marks. You know, players like Popov, who were a big hope, they've fallen away a bit. And as the strong players come through, they still tend to be developing the attacking players. Karavayev still has the right back role, even though he's a winger. Bushan in goal can have a mistake in him, but it's the attacking players in particular that will cause trouble. One of the things you need to remember, of course, now is that both matches, although one match for Rangers will be an away match, both matches for Dynamo will be away matches. So there is no advantage of the match in Poland for them compared to the match in Scotland. They adopt both matches in the same style. They won't have their supporters there. There will be some of the refugees or people who were living in Poland before the war there at the match, but their supporters will be in Ukraine and watching on TV. So the atmosphere there will not feel like a home match for them, just like it won't up in Glasgow. I believe it's the following week. I've not seen who's home on the first leg. I do apologise.
Well, they'll both be away, Adam, because Rangers are having to play at Hampden because the construction work's taking place at Ibrox. So it's a unique situation where the 2 clubs are actually not actually playing at home at any point. So I'm sure Kyiv will be quite happy with regards to that. So that was interesting. So what sort of attendance will we be expecting from certainly from the home contingent, and not as many as I imagine that attract if they were playing in the capital?
It really can be hit and miss this time of year. It's hard to put a figure on it, but the game won't be sold out for a qualifier. It certainly won't be sold out. It won't get that much interest in. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'm not 100% certain on the capacity of the stadium.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to check for you what the gate was in the first match, because I don't have it to hand. And
certainly would be an advantage, I think, for Rangers not having to go into the Lions' Den, if you like, with the home support.
I agree. And those atmospheres back at Olimpijski, pre full-scale war, were at times quite intimidating. The ultras section, and you say most of those guys are on the front line at the moment. They're not with the club in any way. So for them, those guys used to make absolutely incredible atmospheres on a game day. So it's a shame. It's a real sad situation that they can't be there. But I'm sure for those who can, there will be a connection to an internet somewhere. It's amazing. Even the clips come through from the trenches, from the the military bases of guys gathered around a small TV, watching it to cheer them on wherever they are. I saw the first match was in Lublin, so that's quite a small ground. So I would expect 15,000 tops there. I don't know how many tickets Rangers will be offered, but
well, they usually take more. They usually take more than the allocation, so they always travel far and wide. I expect there'll be many of them over there.
And I'm sure there'll be opportunities to get tickets on a game like that. And with the growing bond between Ukraine and Britain over the last 2 or 3 years in particular, the supporters will be warmly welcome as well. I'm sure there'll be a very warm welcome for everyone who travels over there, which will be lovely to see.
Of course, you mentioned that not had the greatest of times in Europe in recent years. I remember back in the day, Rangers had a famous match against Kyiv back in the mid to late 80s. Everyone remembers it, the game at Ibrox when they came back from, I think, 1-0 down from the first leg and won 2-0. They had that great side, of course, the late 90s, the likes of Shevchenko and Rebrov leading the line. How far do you think this team can go? Do you think they can negotiate the 2 legs with Rangers? If they go out, can you see them going far in the Europa League, perhaps?
We always talk in our circles about getting to spring football. Whatever which way or how, let's get to spring football and see where it goes. If Dynamo are still involved in any European conversation come February, we'll be very happy. Now, this game's it's going to be too close to call. I think it's 2 very evenly matched teams that, if people are honest, will struggle in the UCL group stages, but would be battling for qualification in the Europa League. Depending on what sort of group draw they get, I think realistically Europa League would have Dynamo fans. Well, it's guaranteed now, of course, but getting to the Europa League, most Dynamo fans will be happy with that. The UCL, they'll be ecstatic, providing the money gets reinvested into the club. But then when it gets to it, the big conversations had at the end of the month when the draws are made and people are looking to see, right, is qualification to spring football doable or not? And wanting to see the team play with the passion that they showed over the last 2 matches. I think that's going to be the other thing. We've had the wow factor. Now, is Dynamo back, or was it, as I mentioned, a performance put in place for the Serbians, and they can't get themselves up as much for the games against other nations?
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. And of course, in terms of the domestic season ahead, Shakhtar, top dogs, haven't they, in recent years? How do you see them getting on in their own domestic league? Can they go and win the title, do you reckon, under the new coach?
I really hope there's a good battle this year. I mean, that's all we really like to see.
Yeah,
Shakhtar aren't as strong as they were, for the last few years. They've sold their key players. There's a lot of talk about Sudakov leaving this month as well. He could potentially go, but with the financial realities of Ukrainian football at the moment, it's a tough place to put teams together that can compete. It's incredibly difficult. And again, they fortunately have the automatic spot in the group stage through their historical results and things like that. It was a very convoluted way of getting in, but we'll take it no matter what in the eternal battle for 15th spot on the coefficient. But getting them there, and hopefully again, they get themselves spring football, get through to the playoffs. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, in the group stage this year, it's the top 24 go through to but there's no demotion down.
I believe so. I think it's four home matches, 4 away matches, if I'm not mistaken. I think so. It's just one big massive
group
league. Yeah,
and then 9 through 24 go to the playoffs, and the top 8 go to the next round or something like that. So again, it'll be, if Shakhtar can get in that top 24, it'd be a wow. And the 2 Klasichny's, it'd be great if we can get back to where we were a few years back, where those 2 matches are pivotal in the season, and they really do decide the title, because the way the football community comes together in Ukraine for those matches, it's not like what you guys have got, without a shadow of a doubt, but it really does lift the league to the next level.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's been brilliant having you on, Adam. Thank you very much for your expertise. It's greatly appreciated. Give us a little bit of flavour about what we can expect come Tuesday evening. I think it's going to be an interesting game. Like you say, I think it's one that's will go down to the wire. I can't call it at this moment in time. Rangers, I think, are a few bodies short of really settling fans' nerves, shall we say, going into these big fixtures. So, probably 50-50 at this moment in time. But like you, I think at the Champions League, if either team gets in, I think financially it's a good thing for them. But in terms of a competition, unfortunately, teams like Kyiv and Rangers cannot compete against some of the big hitters that will be entering the competition at the group stage. But it should be 2 brilliant games. And
Shovkovsky.
Sure,
I think that's how you pronounce it.
Shovkovsky, there you go. I don't think you butchered his name in any way, Adam. I think that was spot on. So, thank you very much for coming on again. And we'll speak to you at some point in the near future, I'd imagine.
No worries, pleasure. And let's hope it's a good match, well competed, and Ukraine become victorious.
Well, we'll disagree on that one, but wish them all the best. As long as Rangers go through, then that's all that matters. But I think it's going to be a difficult tie. But thanks again, Adam, and hopefully you've enjoyed that, folks. And that match taking place, first leg on Tuesday in Poland, the return at Hampden the following week. I think August the 30th for the return fixture. So, hopefully enjoyed that, and we'll speak to you later on. Bye for now.